Let's get started. Welcome to this lesson, Family Soul, and we're going to talk about belonging, the core need for belonging. Belonging is not just a desire, it is a need. It's essential for emotional stability, for success, and most importantly, for well-being. When we feel we belong, we're grounded. We're able to show up as fully ourselves in relationships and in life. But when that sense of belonging is disrupted, whether through trauma, exclusion, or unconscious entanglements, we can experience a deep sense of disconnection. In family systems, belonging is often determined by who is included and who is excluded. And that inclusion or exclusion doesn't just affect the individual, it ripples through the entire system. This dynamic shapes how we interact and how we see ourselves and how we navigate in life. So, those of you who have invested in the wisdom of the family soul cards, I have given a special section to that after the session for the card of belonging. So go there, look it up. And for those of you who haven't invested in that, you can still do this section because it still is relevant for you to just go there. And you may then want to either get the cards online or the pack of cards to be shipped to you. Just let me know. So, sorry for that interruption. So I want to go to the real question. Why is belonging such a fundamental need? It is well known that belonging is often considered one of our most primal and essential needs because it provides the psychological and emotional foundation upon we build our sense of self and navigate the world. It goes beyond the basic desire of companionship or friendship. It's about a deep, ingrained need to be seen, heard, and accepted by others. This need for connection is wired into our brains. It's part of our survival mechanism. So I want you just to get the basic grip on it, that when a child feels a parent doesn't like them, or they feel a little bit judged by a parent or a little bit excluded because the father wanted a boy and I'm a girl, all those little bits and parts really matter. Early humans relied on groups for safety, support, and cooperation. So if there was a whole village that took care of the children, there was a general sense of belonging. So belonging wasn't just with the father and the mother. And, as our families become smaller and smaller, the sense of belonging becomes like only a few people can support us. And if they don't support us, our whole world falls apart. So from an evolutionary perspective, belonging means survival. But it also means survival in the small family system. And I always say to parents, when the two of you are not connecting, the children do not feel safe. When the parents are struggling, the children do not feel safe. They don't feel their belonging is fully honored. But we'll go into that another time. When we feel we belong, we experience emotional stability. We're able to trust that we are valued, loved, and supported. This emotional security provides the solid ground we need to pursue our personal goals and dreams. When we don't belong, however, it is not just uncomfortable, it can be distressing and disorienting. It shakes our self-esteem, clouds our judgment, and ultimately makes it harder to navigate life's challenges. How do we feel when we don't belong? Isolation and loneliness. When we don't belong, we often feel isolated, even in a room full of people. The sense of being disconnected from those around us leads us to feeling of loneliness. This is not just being alone, but feeling like we're on the outside, disconnected from any meaningful relationship or community. It's a sense of being unnoticed, unheard, or misunderstood. Look at this example. Imagine being in a gathering where everyone is conversing in groups and you feel like an outsider. No one seems to acknowledge your presence and you can't find a way to connect. This isolation can create an emotional wall that's difficult to overcome. Then there's the uncertainty and doubt. Without belonging, we might question our worth or the value of our contributions. We may begin to doubt whether we're truly accepted for who we are. This can trigger insecurities about our role in life, at work, or even in families. For example, in a work setting, you may feel overlooked in meetings or excluded from team activities. You start to doubt your abilities, wondering why you're not included or why you don't seem to fit in. This self-doubt undermines confidence and can diminish your sense of purpose. And this may lead to fear and anxiety. And the fear of being excluded can escalate into anxiety. And when we don't belong, we often create a state of heightened alertness. We're worried about what we might be if we're rejected, judged, or abandoned. And this creates an internal conflict where we feel trapped between wanting to connect and fearing further rejection. For example, if you've ever been in a group where you weren't quite sure if you're welcome, you may feel anxious about saying the wrong thing or doing something that would push you further out. And that anxiety stems from a deeper fear of not being accepted or embraced. And then there's the feeling of invisibility or feeling unimportant.